wise men speaking. So today we'll be focusing on laws of SURDS. Okay. Now the first thing we have to now let's dive into the video to understand what laws of SURDS is all about. The first thing we have to understand the definition of a SURD, because it's very important to know the definition of something that you are about to do. Okay. Now a SURD is a root that gives an irrational number. Okay. Now remember in grade 8 and 9, when we did whole numbers, okay, they told us irrational numbers are numbers with decimal. Okay, are numbers with decimal. Okay, are numbers with decimal. That's why we always leave our answer in a third form. Okay, and in an irrational number can be written as a fraction, and in a decimal form is indefinitely long with no recurring pattern. Okay, so a third of 6, okay, gives us this type of answer, okay, which is an irrational number. So the square root of a 6, okay, it's a third. Okay, the square root of a 6 is a third. Or let's say the square root of a 2 is a third. The square root of a 3 is a third. The square root of a 5 is a third. Okay, so this is how things are written in a third form. Now we have to understand that in thirds, okay, they're the same as exponents. Okay, in third also they are laws to third. Yeah, as in exponents there are laws of exponents. Also in thirds there are laws of thirds. Okay, now it's very important to understand these laws, because these laws here will help you during your exam. Okay, now law number 1 tells us, okay, if a third is being multiplied with a third, okay, because this will happen only with the multiplication. If a third is being multiplied with a third, what you do, you bring it together. So an example can be, let's say we have root 3 times root, okay, times root 2. Now what we do, we bring it all under one third, and then we just say 2 times 3, which eventually give us root 6. Okay, root 6. Okay, now this is what law 1 is telling us. Now law 2 is telling us if the same base of third is being multiplied together, okay, your final answer is just the number. So if I have root 2 multiplied by root 2, okay, when this happen, then that means that these thirds, they are canceling each other. So all we are left with it's a number 2. Okay, now for the third one, is telling us that if there are numbers in front of it, and then multiplication is happening, okay, you take both the numbers in front of it, you multiply them. Plus also you have to take the one inside the set and then multiply them together. So this is dealing with law 1, okay, and then this we just do multiplication on each other. Now yeah, the fourth one, okay, so the third one, an example can be, let's say, 7 root 2 times let's say 3 root 4. Yeah, root 4. No, 3 root 3. Okay, now once we have that, so 7 multiplied by 3, it's 21 root. Now what is 2 times 3? Yes, 6. Okay, so that's an example for the third one. Now the fourth one, okay, it's when you're having, when a third, okay, is being divided by a third, all you do, you just bring the third together. So if I have an example of 20, third of 20 divided by a third of 2, for example, okay, that will be the same as just writing the whole thing inside one third, which is 20 divided by 2, which eventually gives us third 10. Okay. Now, once we do that, the fifth one, okay, the fifth one tells us when a third is being divided by a third, okay. When a third is being divided by a third, now all we do, we take the denominator third, okay, and then multiply it by, we must multiply it in, multiply the numerator and the denominator, because remember, when we multiply this, root b, okay, or root b over root b, it gives us an answer of 1. So we're not manipulating, but we're not disturbing the equation, okay, which eventually gives us root of a times b all over b, okay. The same as the bot, when there's no root at all, when there's no root at all. So you take the bottom, the denominator, multiplied by both, and then you get this type of answer, okay. Now, the important things of knowing this, the laws of third, is because now in the exam they will give you something like this. If they give you something like this, most of the time they always say, do not use a calculator, solve it without the use of a calculator. Now, we have to beat the system, okay. It's very important to beat the system, but use a calculator, but don't show that you use a calculator. Let me show you how. Now, you see this root 8, okay, this root 8, the first thing we have to do, we have to bring it into a prime base, okay. Prime base. Now, how we're going to bring it by a prime base? We're going to say 8 equal to, okay, let's bring our calculator here, equal to, then you want to press shift fact b, okay, fact b, which gives us an answer of 2 to the power of 3, okay. 2 to the power of 3, okay. Which we can separate it as 4 times 2, okay, 4 times 2 minus root 2 all over, okay, 50. Now let's go for 50. So we're gonna write 50 equal to shift fact 2 to the power, okay, so we're gonna write it as 20, a 2 times 25. Now, why am I writing it like this? Okay, you will see, remember that 4, okay, root of 4, okay, it's possible because 4 is a perfect square. So root of 4 gives us an answer of 2, okay. Since we can't find root 2, we're gonna just leave it as root 2 minus root 2, okay. Now all over, now remember, 25, it's a perfect square, so we can find the root of 25, which is 5, okay. 5 and then root 2, okay. Now, once we do that, on top, we can take out things that are common, which is root 2. Once you take out root 2, okay, you open up a bracket, we'll be left with 2 minus 1 all over, because remember, there's an invisible 1, all over 5 root 2. Remember, we can only cancel things if multiplication is happening. If multiplication is not happening, therefore we cannot cancel. So 2 minus 1 gives us an answer of 1 over 5. This is your final answer, okay. So I'll leave for you this one here to go and try it out. If you don't understand, you comment in the video so that we can give you the answer. Now, my friend, that you have the knowledge that you require, it is time to go and shock your teacher. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share to this video. Thank you. See you in our next video.